viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another video. People, in today's video, we want to talk about something that is obvious, something that is in plain sight, something that is in the open, something that is really, really, very rarely spoken about, but is very much whispered about, but never discussed. And that is the prejudices of South Africans. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we family, right? Holler. People, this is a funny video. Sad video. But it has to be said. Someone's got to say it, right? So, I've got to be the one. Sadly, I'm always the bearer of bad news. I guess I'll take that with pride. People, not too long ago, I think it was sometime early this year, or was it late last year? I made a video, or was a video two, criticizing black people to the core, to the maximum. If I'm not mistaken, I think the video was entitled Why Black South Africans or Why Black People Are Disgrace to Africa, something like that. And it did some decent numbers, for a channel my size, And the funny thing about it is, with such a title, I was expecting so much pushback. And I didn't get. I got this much pushback. Which means I was speaking the truth. And they knew that I was speaking the truth. And that is why there was this much pushback and negative comments, right? When I make videos attacking black people or exposing black people and or colored people, right? When I talk about their mishaps, when I talk about where they lack or where we lack, I'm going to say that as if I'm a part of them, where we lack as black and colored people, where we go wrong, the crimes we perpetrate against each other, the hate, the racism, the overall general just dysfunctionality within black and colored communities. I mean, when I make videos like that, I virtually get almost zero negative feedback. I do get the odd one or two, three, four, five, maybe. But the majority, views versus the negative comments, the views out. That's not to say people don't want to comment. That's not to say people don't have their own views and perceptions. They just don't feel the need to engage in a thumb war with me, right? And I appreciate that. Even the negative comments, I appreciate it. I mean, be negative all you want to be, but try to be constructive in your negativity. You know, don't just be like a swear word. I mean, someone will just put like, I mean, okay, cool, where to? You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be constructive because, like I said, this channel is about learning, educating, and informing. At the same time, I'd like to think entertaining. So when I make videos criticizing black and colored people, right? I'm always talking from a point of truth, of what I see and what I hear and from what I research, right? So I will talk about the crimes and all those things that come with being black and colored. I'll talk about that. Why do you attack each other? Why do you do this? Why do you steal? Why do you rape? Why do you all those things I'll talk about and exposing truths. The funny thing is when I do it, exposing white truths, white realities, white things, white people's shameful behavior. Do you know how much pushback I get? A ton. I even get people threatening to report my channel to YouTube, get my channel blocked. Why? What am I saying that you don't know about? What am I saying that you clearly trying to hide or trying to. That's what I just don't understand. I can say something like this, right? The farmers, the farmers, the farmers that went to the White House, they didn't tell Donald Trump about their colleagues, the other farmers who killed the farm workers, who killed and fed the two women to the pigs. They don't talk about that. No, they won't. But if I say that, if I make a channel saying, if I make a video saying despicable white people or the how disgusting or white people are a disgrace to Africa because they fed black people to the pigs. They threw a black man into a lion's den. They ran over a 6-year old for taking an orange off a tree or an apple or a fruit off a tree. These are real stories and these are real things that happened. I'm simply speaking the truth. But no, that must not be said. That must be swept under the rug. Why? I mean, it's okay when I speak about black people and colored people, and I speak about them in a negative light. Truth, by the way, truth, but in a negative light. Then I get comments like, you're such a great leader for the future. We need people like you to expose those kind of things. Okay? So it's fine when I demonize the demons in my society, but it's not okay if I demonize the demons in white society. Do you see how unfair that is? For me, it's almost like white problems, white crimes, white um, atrocities, crimes, white prejudices, white are not supposed to be aired. That's the way I'm looking at the feedback I get when I make content based on these two race groups. You know, I mean, it's a known fact, it's an open secret that tender fraud is happening, the ANC is incompetent, crime in the black community is way out of hand, crime in the colored communities, gangsterism is way out of hand. Rape in the black communities is way out of hand. Fear of women just walking down the street in South Africa because hijackings, cash in transit robberies, all these quote unquote black crimes are fine to expose, are fine to talk about, are fine to broadcast to the world that the world can see black South Africans and colored South Africans as demonic, as evil beings. And that's the reason why there's white flight, or the reason why South Africa is unsafe. But if I make a video exposing white atrocities, racism, exposing just the way white people see, let alone treat black people. For example, if I made a video talking about how a white man can ride in a bakkie with his dog in front and 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 black people in the back of an open bakkie in the rain with no canopy, guess what? I will get so much pushback, so much hate, so much negative comments, and I don't understand it. So my thing is, why are you trying to hide the obvious things that you were taught, that you were raised in, what your belief system is? I mean, that's the way you were taught, that's the way you were raised. So why can't I speak about it? I mean, I can clearly talk about the way we were raised. I can clearly talk about the way black people were raised. I can clearly talk about the things that we do in our societies that are totally inhumane. I mean, there was the girl, can't remember her surname. Sad story. Colored girl. I think it was somewhere in, if I'm not mistaken, I think Beaufort West. I think this was in Beaufort West. I think her name was Annie. I can't remember her name, but she was a young colored girl. I think she was a teenager, and she was gang raped and then disemboweled by this gang of young colored guys. Sad story. A real act of evil by colored youths perpetrated against a colored girl, one of their own. And that made global headlines, right? Global headlines. Sad story. If I made a video on that, I would be seen as a hero for the people exposing the truth. And therefore, I should be in government or in parliament pushing rights and wrongs and that. And that's all good and well. You know what I mean? If I only expose my people's wrongs. But if I expose white people, then all of a sudden I'm a demon. Then I'm this God-forsaken thing that needs to go for some sort of cleansing, and I don't know what else I might get called. I need dentistry. I don't know, a whole lot of things that come at me. But I'm like, so why do your people do these things? I'm just stating the obvious. I mean, more often, I've now beg- I've now heard this saying, right? That white people love their dogs or their animals more than they love black people. It's not the first time I'm hearing it, and I was trying to think about this, like, what do you mean? And they were like, dude, you need to do your research and find out that there are more animal care centers than there are centers that actually cater for poor people. Like, white people strive to keep black people poor because they don't want black people to rise to their levels of wealth. If you didn't know that. And I was like, no, come on. That's not true. They were like, my friend, the real reason the real reason why white people fear BEE and why white people fear equality is that their wealth will drop to the levels of blacks, or the black poverties or the black people's wealth will rise to the level of whites. And that's what the white people do not want. They fear equality. And with that fear comes either the drop of wealth or the leveling up of black wealth to their levels of wealth. Wow, that hit hard. I was like floored. I was like, geez. I mean, there's a lot of black homeless people, and I don't know how many white people have rescued them from the streets. When there was a lot of dogs, stray dogs that have been rescued from the streets. I mean, every life, regardless, human or animal, is precious. And I totally understand it. But I'm sure that there will come a time, or there has come a time, where a life, a life has to be chosen over another, human over animal. And I'm always of the view that human over animal will always be the way to go, you know? But yeah, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Let me know what you think about this video. Was I on the money or did I totally miss it with this one? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we family, right? Holler.